Hello, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Provocative Podcast. All right, guys, so let me catch you guys up on this week. So, last episode, we caught you guys up on like prep and everything and how it's doing and all that good stuff. So, this week was a good, like all last week was like, I told you guys the first week I was back in Texas and it went really well. I will say business wise, I actually started, I usually have a calendar. I'm a writing type of person. I like to write everything like on my desk. I'm not the type of person that likes to like have a calendar on my phone. So I have a calendar on my desk and I've been doing that for years, but I actually started doing like a calendar on my laptop, on my iPad and like marking off and it really helped this past week and I really enjoyed it. It made me look forward to each day. It made me look forward to like just marking everything off instead of just doing like a little to-do list on a sticky note and throwing away. It's like just really cool to look back at. So my week last week was really good business-wise. I got a lot of stuff done. I was really productive. And then fitness wise, it was good. I got back on track with spin and then I tried Pilates and that fucking Pilates class was hard as shit. Pilates and more than anything, it wasn't that it was hard. It was just, I was so sore for so long from my abs and gym was good. The only thing is that my endometriosis flared up really bad last week, which as you guys know, like hormones is the thing I'm going to have to deal with for the next 2-3 months. So if you catch me talking about it, I'm just like looping you guys into my life, right? So I'm not going to always go on Instagram and talk about it and go on my stories and talk about it because I just don't like to be like a complainer and I don't want to seem like I'm complaining, but on the podcast and on YouTube, I feel like it gives you guys a little bit more of an in on my life. So last week, my endometriosis flared up so bad. I was taking so much ibuprofen to help with the pain. And as you guys know, I haven't gotten my period. So every day I was like, okay, I'm going to get my period. It's going to come because I'm in so much pain. Like, you know, when you feel it, when you're like, you don't feel like blood coming out just yet, but like subconsciously you can feel it almost coming out. Like you girls know exactly what I'm talking about. And I felt like that all week. And then with the pain, it's not helpful. It's like you're looking forward to just getting your period so you can get it over with. But no period, just a lot of fucking pain, a lot of bloat. I was at home with my heating pad and it really fucks with my mental health because I'm trying to do, as best as I can, getting back into my routine. And like, I feel like, it's not that I feel gross, but when you're on your period, you feel so bloated, you're holding even more water and you just feel icky. Like, I'm just like, I just feel irritable, icky. Like, I just don't feel sexy. I don't feel cute. And although I was like doing the necessary things, like I don't want to be in bed and let this illness like take control of my life. I was like getting ready and going to spin class and doing things like that. It still is hard mentally. And then you have all the hormonal aspects of, okay, like, when you're on your period, you crave more chocolate, you're eating more. So not only am I dealing with that, because I had like all these cravings last week. And so that was really tough to navigate. And so in turn, when something I didn't know, except for last year, I learned this with all the fucking horrible cramps I would get. So because you cramp so bad with endometriosis or even with period, it can cause even more air in your stomach or even more pain when it comes to IBS. So that last week caused a big freaking flare up in my stomach. So Sunday I had a little bit of IBS towards the nighttime. Then yesterday it was so extremely bad to the point that I looked like I was 8 months pregnant. And I've been holding on to water and Chris has been really helpful as to remind me like, hey, like this isn't your body right now. You're fine. You're going to get rid of all this. Like, look, pinch your skin. And like yesterday, he was like, pinch your skin right now. And I did. And he's like, look, there's literally no fat there. It's your bloat. And I mean, he's right. So it's nice to hear that. But last night, I could tell he was even shocked. His eyes were just like, holy crap, Jazmin. Like, I was coming out from the bathroom. I had to put my gym clothes on. I was like, babe, I'm in so much pain. And I lifted up my shirt and he was like, holy shit. Like, he's like, oh my God, your stomach looks huge. And I'm like, yeah, and I literally look like I was 6 to 8 months pregnant. No lie, like no lie. And I cannot comprehend how your stomach can get that damn big. But I was in pain. I still went to go work out, but then my body's in pain too from, I guess, prep. My knees and my joints are hurting really bad. My back is hurting really bad. So I just felt like health wise, as I've gotten older, I appreciate health so much more. Like, I will take health over money any day. Like, being healthy is such an important thing. And it messes with everything in your life. If you're not healthy, you don't feel good. You can't put more energy into the things that you love because you're dealing with whatever sickness you have. So it's just like yesterday, I was like crying at the gym, literally towards the last set. I was working out with my friend Zarelli, and Brittany was next to us because she has a new plan because she's running. And so, which is a good thing. And so anyways, I literally just like started crying, and I was like, I feel like shit. I feel like shit. My body feels like shit. My stomach is all shit. And they're like, well, maybe this is a sign that your body's telling you to calm the fuck down and stop doing so much. Maybe you just need to take a break from spin and working out and doing all these things. And I'm like, yes, but do you realize how hard that is for me? And so it's just been like, I just felt like yesterday I didn't want to play the victim card, like, why me? Like, I don't like that. You guys know that I talk about it. But I did have my moment where I'm like, fuck, I cannot fucking catch a break. And I know Chris thinks that as well. He just doesn't say it out loud because I know he's trying to be positive and not be yeah, like, damn, that's another thing. Like, he doesn't add on when I'm feeling negative. He's just like, listen, like, yes, it fucking sucks, but like every day is going to get better. Let's see what we can do. So I took a tea last night. I also took some peppermint pills, and those always help me. So I took some before going to the gym, and my stomach kind of went down a little bit, and then it flared up again after dinner. And so yeah, I took a tea and I'm feeling a lot better this morning, but it leads me to what I'm going to do today, which is I have my first appointment to acupuncture. So I am going to see somebody for acupuncture. I've heard amazing things from this place, and I'm excited because I'm going in there with a positive mindset that this is going to help me and work for me because I'm always about the healthiest alternative, guys. I love the holistic approach to things. It's just one, more convenient and cheaper, and it's better on your body, and just like, I love the holistic approach to things. So I'm excited. I've heard amazing things. And when I was doing a ton of research yesterday, it made me even more excited because the top 4 things that they're more known for, or acupuncture helps with the most, is anxiety, which, I mean, I'm not going for that, but hell, I have anxiety, so it helps. 2, inflammation, and it could be inflammation due to hormones as well, which I currently have. 3, digestive issues, which I currently have. So people with IBS and stuff like that, it's very helpful for them. For any type of PMS, menstrual, menopause kind of thing, any women's health, it's helped them tremendously, which the main reason for my endometriosis too. So reading all that and seeing that those were the top things that acupuncture helps with, I was just like, yes, this was a message sent from God. So I'm really excited. I'm going in there with like a really positive mindset. And if it's a fucking placebo effect, then it can be a damn placebo effect. I'm just going in there thinking that I'm going to come out feeling better, and that we're going to have set a routine as to what I need to do going forward to help me, because it is hard when your whole lifestyle, like mine, depends on the way that I look and the way that I feel, right? Because if I don't feel good, I don't want to get ready. I don't want to make content. I don't even post on my stories. I just go MIA, and I work from my computer, and I do work that's like low key, but I need to make content. I need to do things. And when I don't feel my best, it's really hard to do that. So I'm just catching you guys up. Please don't feel, I'm not trying to have a pity party or anything. I'm just sharing what's helping, like what's going on in my life. And if you have endometriosis and you have these pains, please don't feel like you're alone. Like, one of the biggest things when I share this is that I get so many of you girls on Instagram messaging me saying like, I'm so glad I'm not alone. It's hard. There's days where it's even harder, but I find that the more I try for myself, the better I feel, because if I just lay in bed and deal with the pain in bed and don't do the things that make me happy, like work out, I will, at the end of the day, be even more mad because I am not able to work on myself. I'm frustrated because I didn't get to work out and release my anxiety. So, even if it's like, even if you're going through a really hard pain, have that heating pad on, take maybe some medicine to help you. And then if you don't think you can work out, go for a damn walk or do something to make you feel like you're the one in control with this disease, not the disease, not the other way around. Don't let it control you and control your life, because it can easily feel like you are, getting depressed. And it's like, for me, I don't want to get to that place. And I know that I have my friends and family that won't allow me to get there, but I just, want to share that you're not alone. And of course, I will keep everyone updated with the acupuncture, let you guys know how it goes. It's not a cheap procedure. I don't have health insurance, but if it's going to make me feel better, I'm going to invest in myself. So that's just a little intro to my life, what's going on. Other than that, things are great. I had a great weekend with Chris. It finally felt like normal again. We went on a date. And then on Sunday, we had like an unexpected day. We went to a car meet. I tried a new coffee, which was vanilla and lavender. It was not sugar-free, which is very rare when I don't get a sugar-free coffee, but it was really cool to try a new flavor. And then we went and had chilaquiles at Celito Cafe in Houston. So good. You guys need to try it out. It's a authentic Mexican brunch place. Super cute. Like, the food looks amazingly gorgeous and it tastes absolutely amazing. It's not going to let down. So it is authentic Mexican. So if you don't like super spicy, just be aware of that. The chilaquiles are a little bit spicy, but it's what I wanted. And then we went to meet up some friends, had some margaritas. I had some gelato. Guys, I was living life on Sunday. Chris and I had honestly, it was like one of the most fun days I've had in such a long time. Like, and the fact that it was unexpected was really, really nice. Like, I live for just like things like that, like unexpected, having fun, like eating what I want kind of things, like trying new things. And yeah, overall, I had a really good weekend. So I'm really happy that things, as far as my life goes, are going back to normal. So that's a little intro. For today's episode, I was actually talking to one of my friends about one of these topics. So I was like, okay, this is such a good topic. And then I was listening to something and thinking about my life and thinking about more so my sister's lives and things like that. So it brought up this topic, which today's episode is going to be on setting a standard for yourself and being open to new possibilities. So we're going to start by talking about standards. Why are they so important? And I feel like standards are just as important as values. Values can be like, you can put them together with your significant other as far as what you guys value, but standards are more of a personal choice on what you expect out of yourself and out of others, right? So values is more like, okay, I value time, I value this, I value that. Whereas standards, it's like, okay, what am I okay with putting up with, I guess, or what do I feel like I deserve for myself, and what do I think I want from others, right? So when you have standards in every aspect of your life, what you're willing to adapt to and what you won't tolerate. And there's standards for everything, for yourself, for your work environment, for your significant other. It's important to have those standards so you know where in life you're going, what direction in life you're going, and especially how you want other people to treat you, right? And that is the main reason why I wanted to talk about it, because, I think that if you hold yourself at a higher standard, you know what you want, you know what you're going after, and you know what you want in your friends, you know what you want for your career, you know what you want for a significant other, and what you're willing to tolerate and what you're willing to be like, fuck no, I'm not doing this. And, I think that regardless of whether you think you're in a really good place right now and last year was a good year and, I just want to keep doing what I was doing last year or whatever, there's always room for improvement in yourself. So there's always a room for you to set a new standard for yourself. And I was thinking about that actually yesterday, because I was talking to Chris and I was like, I'm really happy with my life. I do have little personal resolutions, but I really haven't worked on my vision board. I don't really know what it is that I want, because I feel like everything I see on social media is like all materialistic things. And I just don't like, I'm not, you know, driven only like primarily by materialistic things. Like, don't get me wrong, guys. Like, I love my handbags and things like that. But for me, I don't think like, I'm like, yes, a goal of mine, like this year, I want to work so hard because I really want that Birkin bag. Like, I just feel like I'm in a place where my life where it's like, if that Birkin bag is meant to be mine, it'll happen when it happens, when I can spend what 20, 30 G's on a bag, right? Which is one of my goals, to have a Birkin bag, to have several Birkin bags at some point in my life. But it's not something that I'm like dying to have right now. And same with a Rolex. Like, I don't own a Rolex yet. And one of my goals is to have a Rolex this year, but it's not like I'm dying, I have a dire need to get that Rolex. And so, you know, I was comparing, I guess, my values or what I want, my standard for 2023 based on this TikTok video that I saw this girl. And Chris was like, just because that's her way of being driven doesn't mean that's your way. And I was like, you know, you're right. He's like, so set your standards, set your values, set your intentions for the year based on what you want and based on the things that motivate and empower you. And so that leads me to make sure that your standards are your own and you are not comparing your standards to someone else. Because, you know, even like in the fitness industry, you may look at someone and you're like, okay, that's what I want to look like. My standard for myself for my fitness goals this year is to look like her. If you start thinking like that, you're not going to get there. And everyone is so different. And if anything, you'll be really disappointed when you work hard for like 6-8 weeks. Cause I'm going to say 6-8 weeks and I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt because a lot of us are very impatient, especially when it comes to fitness and seeing changes. I think in 2-3 weeks, you'll notice you're like, oh my God, I don't look like that. Because that person is their own person. Your body is not that person's body. And that person's probably worked years to get to where they're at. So make sure that when you are setting standards for yourself, you're making them realistic and they're based on what you think that you can achieve for yourself. So I wrote down some examples of standards that I just wanted to go over. So for me, it's like, how do you talk to yourself in the mirror and how do you talk to yourself when your significant other is around? So that's like a standard when it comes to self-talk and self-love. You know, for a long time, when I was insecure, I would talk very negatively to myself in the mirror and I would say it out loud. And, you know, thankfully, I have a spouse that was very like, no, do not talk to yourself that way. That's not okay for you to talk to yourself that way. But not every person is like that. And so when you do that, you set a standard, whereas that person can now talk to you in that way, can now be like, yeah, you're fat, or yeah, you're like, and it could be out of nowhere. And then you can be taken back and be like, what the fuck? But if you set that standard, that's the way that you talk to yourself, you're allowing other people to talk to yourself that way. And the same goes with how your friends talk to you. If you call yourself whatever it is, a name or whatever, and they hear you say that, they're probably going to pick up on that and start calling you that. And then you're going to be taken back because now you're going to be like, what the fuck? Not only are you calling yourself that, you've allowed others to call yourself that. So make sure that you hold yourself at a higher standard of what you want for yourself, of what you believe in yourself, and that you set that with other people around you, with your significant other, you know, what you're willing to put up with and what you're willing to not put up with. And it's not about like coming out from an ego place, like, no, I don't deserve that. No, it's like, I don't want to be talked to in that way, or I don't want to be treated this way. And, you know, I have enough respect for myself. I know what my standard is. I know what I deserve. And if you want to be with me, if you want to carry a relationship with me, this is how I expect to be treated, right? And it's all about how you handle it maturely. But I just seeing, I guess, recent events with people, I'm just like, listen, with females, it's so hard, especially younger teenagers as they're getting older. Like, I wish I could shake them and be like, you know, have more self-confidence and have more self-respect for yourself, because, you know, at such a young age, you don't really know what that is, but you allow these men, and I'm going to just say men, right? Because this is like what I know. You allow these men to treat you in the way that they want to treat you versus, hey, if you want to spend time with me, this is what we're going to do. If you want to do this, this is the way that I want to be treated. Like, you set the standard, right? If they don't have standards, that's fine, but you set the standard of what you want out of that relationship, how you want to be treated by that person, because then you'll end up being happier, and then you'll end up having more self-confidence. If you allow people, if you don't have any standards for yourself, any standards when it comes to a relationship, you don't even know what you want. And you end up sometimes, honestly, more oftentimes than not, end up being treated badly and not being treated the way that you deserve, because you have no idea what that standard is for what you want to accept and what you don't. So in relationships, it's really, really important to set the standard of what you want in your life. When it comes to friends and coworkers, respect is a big one for me. Like, I hold a standard of respect. Like, one of my biggest things, and I know some of you girls are going to be like what? But if I'm with my closest friends, sometimes we'll joke around and we'll be like, oh my God, bitch, like that. But it has to be like my closest friends, and it has to be like we're really fucking around with each other. But other than that, I do not like it. Like, I've gotten some DMs where it's like, bitch, like, I'm like, I don't even reply to that DM. Don't fucking call me a bitch. Don't call me a bitch, because I would never choose that language when I don't to call anyone, even if I know you or if I don't know you. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, bitch. Like, it's a thing of respect. Like, I just don't like that. I don't like fucking around like that. And I know I'm using that language, but I don't like that. So I hold myself with respect. I know that when I walk into a room, people feel comfortable around me, but they also hold me to a level of respect, because I hold myself to a level of respect. I'm not over there flirting with these guys. I'm not over there like patting on the shoulder like, oh my God, guys. I'm not over there gossiping. I hold myself to a higher standard, because I know what I want out of my life, and I know what I want from friends, and I know what I want from new relationships. So holding yourself to that higher standard will allow others to see you in a different way and be like, okay, like, I respect her, whatever it is that you want for yourself, respect, love, whatever it is, right? Hold yourself to that standard so other people can see it. And I will say that not everyone will accept that standard. Not everyone will accept the new changes that you make and might make fun of you. Like, damn, like, you're kind of stuck up or you're snooty. And that's where you can reply and be like, no, it's not that I'm stuck up or I'm snooty. And it's not that I'm not fun. It's that I'm trying to change. I'm trying to be better, and I'm trying to accept things that I feel like I'm worthy of. And if you can, I would love for you to get along board with that. And I would love for you to respect my new decisions and my new changes. But if you can't, I totally understand, but I don't know if I can continue on with this relationship. Plain and simple. And don't be afraid to hurt people's feelings if you know that what you're doing is to better yourself. So set yourself for higher standards. And that's the same with goals, right? Set standards for yourself, what you want for this year from yourself. Like, what is it that you want to accomplish personally, and do it. Set that standard and fucking stick to it and do what it is. Find the steps that you need to do in order to reach those standards for yourself. And it's not going to be a one thing from another. It's like a habit. It's going to take some time. It's going to take you doing multiple steps to get, and it's going to take you multiple steps to get to that new level of standard that you're holding yourself up to. But you can do it, especially if you believe in yourself, and especially if you're making the necessary changes in your life to hold yourself to that. So, I just wanted to go over those things, because I feel like, especially this year, with women empowerment and everything, like, I can talk about it all day. Like, you deserve this and you deserve that. But if you don't believe that you deserve to be treated a certain way, and you don't have standards for yourself, no one is going to have standards for you. No one is going to respect you. And to be honest, as females, that's the thing that we need the most, is respect. We need respect from each other and love from each other, instead of freaking, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, judgment from each other. And we need respect from men. We're in a society where it's still sometimes hard for men to respect us, because they don't take us seriously. And with social media these days and things like that. And now, it's easier to hook up with guys and do things, which is fine, but if you hold yourself to a higher standard, you attract a different kind of audience. So just want to leave that there. Moving on to being open to new possibilities. So what I mean by this is my friend and I were having coffee the other day. We were having breakfast and she's like, hey, Jazmin, like, this year she has an 8 to 5 job. She loves her job. And she was like, hey, Jazmin, like, I feel like this year is going to be the year that I want to make like passive income. I want to make income while I'm at work. I want to make more income than what I'm set to. Because I had told her like a few years ago, I think it was last year, I was like, dude, I know you love your job and you probably make great income, but if you want to be a millionaire and if you want to make more money, you need to start thinking of different ways that you can make more income, whether that's investing, whatever it is, you need to start thinking about what it is that you want to do. And at that point, she's like, damn, you're right. Like, I do need to. And so this year she was like, hey, like, this is something I want to work on this year, but I just like don't know what it is that I want to do. And I was like, you're not the only person that this happens to. Like, so I was telling her, I was like, I've always known I wanted more. I know I want more. I know I want to do different things this year. Hell, like last year I didn't know I was going to prep, but when you're open to new possibilities and you know that you want something new, right? You know that you want better for yourself. So you may not know what that is, but you know that you want something. So the next step is to be open to those new opportunities, to wake up, even though you probably don't know what it is and you're stressing about you're like, oh my God, I don't know what it is. And you're trying to rush the process. Just breathe, stop and breathe, and just wake up knowing that that's what you want. Wake up knowing that, hey, I'm going to have a great day today, or, I'm going to have a great day today. I'm going to go into work, but I'm going to be open to new opportunities and new possibilities and see what comes my way. And I promise it may not be in 30 days. It may not be in 60 days, but something's going to come up. Something is going to line up. I'm telling you, the world works in mysterious ways. The way that life puts different opportunities in life and different people in front of you, it's crazy. For instance, this acupuncture. I had looked into acupuncture like years ago and I was like, this is bullshit. Like, what are these little needles going to do, right? And I'm just I don't even know yet, right? But from what I've heard, and I posted a Instagram story on Saturday about how I was doing really bad with my endometriosis and I was apologizing for being MIA on my stories. And a few people were like, you should try acupuncture. And I just kind of like, I read the DM, but like I brushed it off. On Sunday, someone was literally talking to me about it. They were like, oh my God, it's changed my life. Out of nowhere. It wasn't like I asked or anything. It was like, oh, hey, do you love the area that you live in? And I was like, yes. And like, oh, actually, my acupuncture is there. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, how is he talking about this right now? And then I was like, oh, do you like it? Have you seen like results? And he just went on and on about how it's changed his life, how it's changed his wife's life, how he recommended it to other people and how it's changed their life. Little short story, the guy he recommended it to had cancer or has cancer. His doctor told him he only had 3 months to live, but he was like, hey, go see my acupuncturist. Maybe she'll help with pain, or you never know. He's been living for over 1.5 years. So if that doesn't tell you anything, it could be, like I said, it could be a damn placebo effect. I don't know. But I knew I am willing to take new opportunities, new ways. So that came to me without even me trying. So just being open to change, being open to hear people out and hear these new possibilities, you'll figure it out sooner or later. And, it's scary, like not knowing. It is. It can make you more anxious, it make you more stressful. But if you just believe that you're working towards something and you believe that you're manifesting the life that you want and that you believe that God or whatever you believe in is going to guide you in the right direction, I promise new opportunities will arise for you to try. And my friend, I guarantee by the end of the year, she'll find something that she's going to do for passive income. I 100% believe it. And as we were talking, she's like, oh my God, everything you're saying is what I just heard on this podcast I was listening to. And I'm like, yeah, you just have to trust and believe and be open that it's going to come to you without you rushing the damn process. So don't rush. Don't feel like you're on a timeline. Don't rush the process. Just believe that, hey, the world is going to put me where it needs to put me in order for me to receive what's meant to be mine. So just wanted to talk a little bit about those two things because it's something that, was on my heart this last week and I wanted to share with you guys. And obviously starting the new year, I thought it was a little bit more motivating and adding to not last week's episode. I hope you guys didn't feel like last week's episode was rushed, but I wanted to add a little bit more because, it's only the second week of the year. And even if you didn't have the best first week of the year, you can still have the best weeks to come. So don't bite yourself in the butt if you're like, oh my God, last week was horrible. I didn't do the things that I wanted to do and I'm already slacking off. Don't fucking worry about that. It's a new week. It's a new day. And every day, as long as you're doing something new or you're trying, and even if you have a bad day, focus on the next day. Don't focus on the next day, but even if you had a bad day yesterday, just focus on the day in front of you. Consistency is what's going to get you ahead this year. So just doing your best and doing the best that you can every single day is going to get you ahead. So just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Let me know. I want another fun one coming up. So I will probably do another Q&A on the stories on the Instagram. So make sure you guys are following me on Provocative. If you're not following me on Instagram, personal Instagram, Jazzy Fit, that's fine. Follow me on Provocative. I'll probably do a What Would Jazzy Do next week. And then, of course, our TikTok is growing. You can follow us on TikTok and YouTube if you actually want to watch this on YouTube. And then, as always, just leave a comment, review, or at least a 5-star. Share it on Instagram. Share it with your friends. That way the podcast can keep growing. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.